Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching or listening from. You're welcome to Stock Team, the Investors Channel. So today, the 28th of February 2025, the last day of February, the shortest month in the calendar months, 12 calendar months. We are actually looking to start a new month tomorrow. Yes, and as the market continues to evolve and actually show signs of pulling back, show signs of bearish sentiment, we are actually bringing you much more value that will actually position your portfolio and your investment journey to do better by the end of this year, by December. So we're already going to the third month of the year, and we are continuing in the series of sharing stock picks for you to actually take the best position. But before we go ahead, here is our usual disclaimer. Every information shared in this channel is for education and information purpose only. So do not do anything or take any decision to buy any stock that we are suggesting without doing your own due diligence or talking to your financial advisor. On that note, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. Please, we still want more subscribers. We are just a few numbers shy of 300 subscribers. So we want to get more subscribers. So if you have been watching our channel, our content, and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Put on a notification bell so that you don't miss any updates. Also join our community on X at Stock Team Live on X. That's where we share all the breaking news that actually determines what happens to your money, what happens to your portfolio, or your financial assets. So today we are looking at a stock pick. Few days ago, I said that we are going global. What that means is that we are looking not just within Wall Street to position as investors. We are looking to also share ideas with you outside of Wall Street, outside of the US stock market. We have spoken about the Nigerian stock market, and we shared two stock picks recently in the last few days. We talked about GT, which is the most profitable bank in West Africa and perhaps maybe in Africa. We talked about Access Bank, which is the largest bank out of West Africa and by extension part of Sub-Saharan Africa, which massive banking operation, and the stock. Those two stocks have been doing very well because of a whole lot of reforms, a whole lot of recapitalization that exposes them to much more risk, but there's much more opportunity for them to be more profitable and also build a more stronger banking business. So those two stock picks are out of the way within the Nigerian stock market. Today, we are looking at the German market, and the German market is quite a peculiar stock market because the German economy is heavily on production kind of economy. A whole lot of heavy machinery that is used in global manufacturing, a whole lot of machines that actually make some of the machines that people use or consumer electronics. So from the likes of machines used in the printing technology industry, the machines used in actually in industrial, the construction industry, a whole lot of the machines that Chinese companies actually use to do heavy manufacturing. Many of them are actually produced in Germany, or German companies are actually some of the brains. Also, if you look at the auto industry, so it's an economy that is heavy on manufacturing, machinery, and also even software, because the likes of SAP is a Chinese company, the SAP, the enterprise planning software. So it's an economy that is not really heavy on services. However, the banking industry in Germany as well supports that ecosystem, supports that heavy manufacturing, export-led economy. And so when you want to actually invest in stock in such an economy, you want to look for companies that are actually undervalued. So today we are having a stock pick. Actually, it's a bank in the German economy. So come with me to the first stock pick that we're actually sharing on the German stock market. So here is our first stock pick in the German economy, German stock market. It is Deutsche Bank with the very iconic logo. Anytime you see this logo, it's actually Deutsche Bank, one of the most respected bank out of Europe and also a global bank in that aspect. Is a major and also the largest, banking giant out of Germany. The bank was founded in 1870. It's a German multinational investment, operation headquartered in Frankfurt. They actually focus more on investment banking, corporate asset and private banking. So Deutsche doesn't necessarily do, the day-to-day consumer retail banking. They actually deal with the large multinationals, large corporations. Like I've said, German economy is heavily reliant on manufacturing of machines that make the machines, the auto industry, the chemicals and resource, processing industry. They are actually very good, and Deutsche Bank actually supports that ecosystem. The restructuring of the bank, Deutsche Bank had a huge, challenges, especially coming from the fallout of the 2007 2008 global recession. So under the current CEO, Christian Senwig, there was about 18,000 job cuts that was done in the bank. So the revenue of the bank as of 2023 is about 28 billion euros, 28.9 billion euros. The net income is a positive net income, which is quite good, about 4.9 billion dollars in profits after tax. In 2024, actually there was about 92% drop in the profit of the bank due to a whole lot of the challenges that they were trying to clear up, litigation and some one-off expenses. So we actually expect that now that all of those challenges are almost, resolved, a whole lot of this profit to actually be showing more positive signs. The stock has done well, has actually, responded to that. I will get to the chart in a moment, but the stock has done very well. You actually see how the stock has performed, despite the fact that in the last 5 years the stock has been a bit volatile due to all of the restructuring, litigation, and all that. Those were some of the things that actually affected the bank. But you don't want to invest in a company or in a bank for that matter when it is now moving, when the stock is now moving very fast. You invest when it's undervalued, when all the sentiments are still a bit bearish. But Deutsche Bank has more or less put that behind the bank. So the bank is now more refocusing on core banking services that really push the needle for the bank. So all of the recurring challenges have been dealt with. Stable growth, getting investment or investor confidence is now what the bank is actually looking at. So why am I looking at this bank? If you look at the German economy, Deutsche Bank is more or less like one of the bellwether of that economy. So the German economy also had some challenges, in the last 2 years, but the sentiment has been a bit bearish over time. But now with maybe the new administration, a whole lot of trade deals that Germany might actually strike with the like of the US especially, and also the relationship of Germany with economic giants like China and all that. Maintaining that balance, I believe Deutsche Bank actually sits at the heart of that reform, with what is also going on with Ukraine, maybe a peace deal, and also a return to normalcy, and maybe some of the sanctions on Russia, if it's lifted. These are some of the tailwind that I actually see will impact the stock positively. So actually, I've taken position in this bag, I think in the last 4 months, but you don't necessarily have to actually share so many stock picks at the same time, so that the audience actually have the time to digest one after the other. And this is the German market. This is the only stock I'm actually exposed to in the German market. Now let's go to the chart and see how we actually see this stock performing over time, at least in the next 1 year or two. So like I said, you can actually see that in the last 1 year, the stock has actually been on a recovery mode. So if you look at the last 1 year, this stock has really reacted very, very positively to a whole lot of reforms and restructuring that the company has been doing, really. So if you look at, the stock really has been doing very well, over 67%. In the last 5 years, it's done very well as well, over 59%. It's a bank, it's not a tech company that you expect that in 5 years you'll have done 300%. I'm not saying that's not possible, but a bank is more exposed to more risk. Like I said, even what happened in Ukraine with Russia, for that matter, especially even Brexit that happened, where the UK economy, that the likes of Deutsche Bank were well exposed to, carved out of the EU. So also the global pandemic that we had. So a whole lot of these risks actually affect the bank more than what you expect for maybe a tech company that can just come up with another innovation and the stock can actually do 300, 400% sometimes in a year. So this is a stock that I actually believe, if you look at the all-time chart, is actually a stock that, should the German economy continue to perhaps get more positive sentiment, more better trade deals between Germany and the US, and China, and perhaps a peace deal in Ukraine, perhaps lifting of the sanctions on Russia, and the likes of Deutsche Bank can now perhaps, because of the proximity to Russia and Europe, and being the largest economy in Europe, in the whole of Europe, Deutsche Bank has that tailwind to actually go behind it. And because internally, this bank has actually more or less, resolved a whole lot of the challenges that they had. So that's what I see. I believe this stock, by the end of this year, it currently trades, because in the last 6 months, it's done over 40%. In the last 1 month, it's done about 7%. So at the end of this year, the price targets that I actually see for this stock is to trade close to almost about 35 to 40, 40 euros per share. Why? Because this stock really has been beaten down because of all of those things I've said. So I see this stock actually being one of the most remarkable comeback story in the banking industry, just like what Barclays did in the last 1 year. Barclays stock has been on a tear, which I'm going to get to in the next couple of days. So here is Deutsche Bank, the stock pick for today. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Share this video with anyone who actually wants to learn more about investing, develop their acumen on how to actually be more financially educated. What we do is financial education, and we promise to always bring you some of the best ideas that can improve your knowledge about the market, about investing, and also improve your financial well-being, just like your health is very, very important as well. Your financial well-being, your financial health is very, very important as well. Thank you so much for joining. On that note, till we meet next week when the market opens again, keep investing and keep growing. Take care and bye-bye.